Hi everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelhaus from Threshold of Hineni. I was in the middle of binding this book when the camera shut off because I had used up all the storage space. I had already done like 8 or 9 videos today and haven't uploaded them yet. So I had to take a little break. I think my camera was telling me it's time to get a life besides junk journaling. Anyway, this will be the last one for today. Because it's getting dark outside. Otherwise, I would keep going on. Anyway, I had just gotten this through here, and I think it cut off right before I got it through. This is the second hole. So I'm pushing it through as far as I can, keeping my hand out of the way so that I don't get stabbed. There we go. Okay, so I've pushed it through. I want to make that hole as big as possible. The awl gets bigger the farther up you go. Okay, so then I'm going to push it back out. And you want to be careful. You don't want to cut, tear your pages or anything. Okay, and then I've got to stand up again because I've got to really put my strength into this. Okay, so I don't know if you can see where the holes are. Let me use the awl to show you. There's one here that's close to the middle. That's, and then here's one that's halfway between there and the bottom. And then I'm going to do the next one halfway between the center and the top. I'm not going to push it through until I have this almost all the way closed. Okay, so you probably can't really see what I'm doing, but you just got to trust me. That's what I'm doing. Okay, and I'm going to push down. I'm standing up because I've just really got to put everything into it, especially, I think it's because I'm using upholstery fabric, and so I'm having more trouble getting through than I ever have before. That one feels like it might be. Nope, it's still not through. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working on it here. Just got to keep pushing it through. And sometimes if you kind of turn it back and forth, that helps it go through. Kind of like a drill, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's just my imagination that it helps, but it seems to help. Okay, let's see if it's gone through. Yep, there we go. Okay, so it's there. I've got my hand out of the way. I don't want to get stabbed. That one actually went through easier. It's up to the textured part, and I'm going to push it back out. Come on, there we go. Okay, so we're done with the awl. Put it away, but keep it close by just in case you have to open up one of those holes a little bit more. Sometimes it's hard to find the hole in the fabric. See, like you can see this one here. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. But the other two holes are a little bit harder to find. Ooh, and they went a little bit off to the side. That's not good, but we'll manage. Okay. So the next thing, you're going to keep those clips on there still. And I actually should have clipped it to the cover. I don't know what was wrong with me. I've done that before too, in a video where I didn't clip it to the cover. But this is where I need the bigger ones. It's kind of hard to do it with the small ones. Okay, so I'm going to get my, my leather stuff here that I'm binding it with. First I've got to find the end of it. I've used this so much you'd think I could find the end easily. Okay, so here it is. Okay, I'm going to push out a bunch of it. And I guess I could have done this ahead of time, sorry. Now I lost the end. There we go, it's right here. Okay, so I'm going to push out a bunch of it before I start measuring. I really like this leather stuff. I'll try to remember to link it in the bottom. If I forget, then you can ask me again and I will link it. I use it for a lot, but especially for binding. It's really strong. It's really easy to work with. Most of my beads will fit onto it. The beads that are from that necklace, they were on like a string. And so the holes in them are really small, so they would not fit on this. I had a very hard time getting them onto the twine. But I'm going to put the needle down. But I really like this. It smells good too, you guys. It smells like leather. So anyway, I first got it for making bracelets, and I made a few from it. Ones where I had to have like 3 times the size of the bracelet for it, and there's a lot in here. Okay, so what we want is we want 3 times the size of the book. 2, 3. And then if you want to have beads on the end dangling down, then you need it to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to have it about this long. And, you know, and I don't worry about cutting it a lot longer than what I need, because whatever I cut off from scraps, I'm going to use, you know, in journals and other things. So you're not going to waste it. Okay, then you're going to thread your needle. Okay, and oh yeah, I usually have a paper clip or something to stick on the end to hold it. A button would work, just to keep me from pulling it through too far. Doesn't matter what button, just any button that it'll go through is fine. It's not a button that I'm going to keep in the journal. It's just completely utilitarian at this point. Hopefully I'm in the camera, yeah. Okay. So right there, I'm going to tie a bit of a knot. I'm not going to tie it tight because I don't want that to be stuck on there. It's just for now. Okay. All right, so here's how we do it. We're going to go down through the center, okay, but it's going to be while it's closed, so you're not going to be able to see it. I'm going to go down through the center. All right, so that's the first thing that we do. Down through the center. It shouldn't be hard because you've got these pages clipped in place. Of course, I don't have it clipped into the book, clipped to the book, so I had to look inside to find the hole on the inside of the cover, but that worked fine. Okay, and then pulling it through can be a little bit difficult. You know, the farther you stick the awl through, the easier it's going to be, but still it sometimes can be hard. The eye of the needle is pretty hard. Okay, so I'm pulling it right up to that button. Okay, so I still have this much left. Got quite a bit left. Okay, I'm pulling it up to that button. I don't have to pull it super tight at this point. And then on the outside, I'm going to go up to the top where the top hole is. Okay, and I'm going to stick it in. And hopefully all at one time, get it through the cover and into the hole. And if I had it clipped together, it would have been a lot easier, but see, even with it not clipped to the cover, it wasn't difficult. And then pulling it through is always the difficult part. Getting that eye, the last part of the eye is always the hardest. I don't really know why, because it's not the biggest, but I guess it's where the, where my leather is. But it's hard even with, you know, no matter what you use, it's hard. I wonder if my board might help. I don't think so, but let's see if it does. And I always end up making kind of a big hole in this top page because I'm wiggling around trying to get this through, but I don't know how else to do it. And to be honest, once you're done, I've never noticed that the hole looks bad or anything. Okay, so I've got it through the cover, now I'm getting it through the paper. Sorry, I got off camera. I'm just like wrestling with this thing here. There we go. Got it through. Yay! And the fact that I did not clip the pages to the cover has made it a little difficult, but not bad actually. Okay, so I'm going to pull this all the way up. And there's, of course, 2 ends. Is that it? Is that all? I think so. Okay, let's make sure there's none here. Okay, and we're going to just pull it really tight. Okay, and that button's going to stop it. Okay, now we're going to go down through that same hole, but on the other side. Okay, on the other side of that button, we're going to go down through that same hole that we've already got. It's going to be a little bit harder this time because now in that hole you've already got some leather or whatever you're using to bind. Okay, so that was pretty good. That wasn't bad. Okay, and I'm going to pull it. I want to make sure, sometimes that button kind of holds it up like that. I want to make sure that it's not holding it up. I want it to be nice and tight. Okay, I want it to be very, very snug. Okay, then I'm looking for the hole over here, and I've got it. I'm going to stick it through. I'm sticking it, since I didn't clip it to the cover, I'm sticking it through the cover first, and then through the, let's see, let's pull the whole tail through here. What's going on? Oh, it's all twisted here. We've got it. I've never had that happen before. That's interesting. It's all twisted up. There we go. Okay, so since I don't have a clip to the cover, I'm pulling it through the cover first, and then I'm going to put it through the paper, but I want to move this so that I don't have as much of a tail to get caught in there. Okay, so this is now nice and tight. Okay, and make it go on through the paper, through that hole. Okay, so here it is. Sometimes I feel like I'm watching a birth because it's so exciting to see that thing coming out. I hope that didn't bother anybody. I used to go to births and help assist, and so I love births. I think they're really fun to be at and really special. And it's a real privilege to be allowed to be at the birth of someone that you maybe don't even know, the family or anything. Okay, what's going on here? How come we're having a hard time? It's just that one place right there that it's having a hard time coming through. So we'll just keep working it and get it up through there eventually. Hopefully. I haven't had one yet that I haven't actually been able to get it up through eventually. Sometimes I kind of, now I've already got the other page, all the other holes done, so I'm going to go ahead and take these binders off. Sometimes what I've had to do is kind of go in there between the pages and push it through 1 or 2 pages first. There we go. And then push it through a few more and then get it through those final ones. And sometimes that's just what you have to do to get it to work. Okay, so I'm checking on the back here to make sure that it's nice and snug on the, ooh, we're getting a shadow. Okay, I'm checking to make sure that it's nice and snug right here. Okay, and I'm going to undo my knot and take out the button now. Okay, and that's why you didn't want to make your knot too hard, because when you're pulling stuff through, it's, you know, it's pulling that knot and it's going to make it so hard that you're not going to be able to get through. Okay, I want to make sure that I have enough hanging off here so that I can still add beads, which I can. Okay, so we've got, it's solid on the back here, 1 and 2 parts. Okay, and we've got 1 here, but we still have to get through the bottom part here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold this out of the way. We're going to come up and through the same side that we have this on. We're going to go through that one. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, I'm going to come through here, and then we're just going to tie it in a knot. Tie it in 1 knot, like that, nice and tight. And the leather kind of stretches too. Okay, I can take the needle off now. Okay, just that 1 knot. Okay, and then what I like to do, and you don't have to do this, sorry about that, is I like to take a little bit of my lace, not that one. Let's take some of this one here. Yeah, just a little bit of it, like a couple inches, I guess. And cut it. And then I like to put it in here. I learned this from Gail Augustinelli in one of her videos. I just put it in there and I tie the knot around it again. Tie a double knot this time. All right, and then I'm going to show you another possible way that you can do it. I'm not going to do it, but I'll show you. Okay, so I'm going to do a double knot because I just think that it looks really cute with that lace there. Okay, isn't that cute? Okay, now if you don't want to have something hanging down here, now a couple things. Okay, first of all, you could do it starting from the outside if you want to, and then you would have these tails hanging down the outside. And some people prefer that. They like to have little tassels and dangles and stuff right there. Okay, another thing is that if you don't want to have anything hanging down, you can skip the lace part, cut this close, and put in a dab of glue to keep it from coming undone. And then, okay, so this part here doesn't exist anymore. Then you can take these 2 pages, your centerfold pages, which is not going to be anything special if you do this, and glue the 2 sides right here, doop and doop, so that you've got a pocket, a nice big huge side pocket, or you can glue it on the side and on the bottom so that you have a top pocket. And it's a whole page sized pocket, which is really, really nice. You can put a lot of stuff in there. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do if you don't want to have this. But I don't know, I love having my lace in there, and I love having as many dangles as I can. So I'm not going to cut this right now. Actually, I will cut this one that's really long. Okay, but I'm not cutting the rest of it because I'm going to add beads to it later. Okay, I'm not sure. How are we doing time-wise? Do we have time to add them now? Oh, this may have done it vertical. I'm so sorry if it did. I don't know why it does that, you guys. I need somebody to come help me. Show me what to do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my beads. I decided that I want to use some wood beads. Oh, and we can go ahead now and push all these things back in. I'm not going to put the cards back into the envelopes yet or anything like that, but I'm just going to get these flaps out of the way so I don't risk tearing them. Okay, and we can have that closed. And it's just, oh my goodness, it's just so nice to have it bound. It just makes a huge difference. Now, if it's kind of popping open like mine is, just take it and just kind of crease it more with your hands, just to make sure that it's completely creased. I think the reason it's doing that is because since I didn't have the cover clipped to the pages, the binding went a little bit in the back. So it kind of messed that up a little bit, and that's probably why it's not, but now it's staying closed. Okay, so I'm going to look for what beads I want to use with this. Okay, and most of the things that you bind with, except maybe like the, if you use baker's twine, that's probably not stiff enough. But if you use leather, or here's a bracelet I was making. If you use leather or twine, you can just use the twine or leather itself for attaching your beads. Okay, so what I want to do first is, and I usually forget to do this, so it's not the end of the world if you forget, because I've forgotten and all my journals are still working just fine. But it's a good idea to make a knot at the top of where you're going to want the beads to be, okay, so that they don't slide up inside the book, because, you know, if they slide up inside the book, then it's just kind of a pain. But I mean, it's not, you can just move them down with your finger, and you can always tie this knot later too. I've done that before. It's just a little bit harder when you've got the beads on it. Okay, so I'm going to first put a kind of small bead, because that will keep the larger bead from slipping over that knot. It's a pretty big knot, but if you're using twine, the knots might not be so big, and some beads just have big holes in them. I mean, like, look at that. That's pretty big. Okay, so that's what I want, is one like this. It's not actually wooden, it's resin, but it looks wooden kind of, right? So that's what I'm using. And I'm going to put another round one there. And that's probably it. Don't think I really need more than that. Oh, I did want something on the end, but I don't have it here right now, so I'm just going to have to do that later. Okay, so I'm going to tie this one off. Okay, tying a knot. And then I'm going to make sure that that's not going to go over the knot. It's not. It's really good. So then I'm going to cut it. And it's up to you whether you like to leave a lot hanging down from that or not. Oh, I wonder if it's in here, actually. Nope, it's not. You know what? Hold on just a second. I'm going to get another box of beads that I want. Okay. I have some handmade charms in here that I really like, and I want one at the bottom of one of the dangles. Okay, so for the other dangle, and see, I made my knots at the same place. That was kind of dumb. I should have made it a little bit farther down, but it's okay. Okay, I'm going to choose kind of the same kind of beads. Okay. This one has a smaller hole, so it's not going to go through. Here's one. That's good. Okay, and it's going to go up to the knot again. And then I want to pick a different one of these beads. That one's cool. And again, these ones here are wood, but these ones are resin. And that's all right. I would rather have real wood, but that's just not what I have on hand. And I don't know, I have so much stuff that I don't want to buy things that I don't really need. Just use up what I have before I buy too much more. I didn't have any orange beads, and I'm working on an orange journal, so I did go spend $1.98 at Walmart to get some orange beads. Okay, so there's my other dangle. I'm not going to cut that one just yet because I want to add a charm to the bottom of it. And again, I saw Gail Augustinelli do this first, you know, before I saw anybody else do it. I think that she probably got the idea from somebody else. These things are just like ideas that just float around and you really have no idea where they originate. These were made by, I can't remember her name. I will link her at the bottom. It's on Etsy. Let me see if maybe it says in this note. I think her shop is called Gospel Hymns, but I think she may have actually changed the name of it. It's Robin Paul or Paul's or something like that. Anyway, I will link it. Okay, and I just thought these would go really well with the whole echo theme. Ooh, look at this one. Isn't that pretty? Can you see that, or am I holding it in the shadow? Is that cool? And then there's these crosses that are really nice. There's a gecko, a dolphin. Okay, that's not going to be appropriate for this. Any sea creatures aren't going to be appropriate. Oh, here's a leaf. Oh man! But I think really what I want is this tree one. If it's not too big, I don't know. Do you think that's too big? It is kind of big. But I like it. It's really cool. I think that it's perfect for this. I just want to see what the others are. Yeah. I think that one's perfect. So that's what I'm going to add to the bottom. Is this, oh, if the hole's big enough. It may not be big enough. Some beads, I will use my awl to make the hole bigger. But I'm not going to do that with these handmade beads, because if it wrecks it, then that's it. Well, I guess that made my choice for me. I'm not going to use that one. Maybe a cross. Okay, let's cut this at an angle. And I'm sorry about the lighting. It's starting to get dark outside, and when it gets dark outside, the lighting in here is not so great. Shoot, I really want to use one of these. Where's my board? See if I can make the hole bigger without wrecking it. Well, seems like it's just here in the back that it's not big enough. Okay, let's see if maybe that does it. Okay, I don't think I damaged it at all, so let me try it on the bigger one. Let's see if I can make the hole a little bit bigger without breaking the charm, because it's so close to the edge. Oh shoot, I did crack it. Oh, okay, I'm not going to use that one. I'll use that for something else. Glue it onto something. Okay, this one should be big enough now. Okay, and see if I can get it through. Shoot, it's still not going through. Well, I may not be able to use one of these charms. That's sad. I really, really like these. And it's special. She's just a really nice lady that I've gotten to know on Etsy a little bit. And haven't really kept in touch very well, but we were in touch well for a while. There we go. Okay, I did make that bigger. I'm not really sure what the beads are made of either. Clay of some kind, I think. Okay, and I have not really found a great way to make the knots to hold these on, but I tie a knot at the top of it. think I'm gonna like leave it a little loose and then tie it in a double knot up above here. I'll show you when I'm done what I did if you can't see it, because I can't really hold it up while I'm trying to do it. I'm not a professional at beads and stuff. I've made some jewelry, but not, you know, I've never like taken any classes or anything, so I don't feel real confident that I know what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. And I think I'm going to put just a little dab of glue on there after I cut it. Okay, so I'm going to show you before cutting it. Here's what I did, and if you know of a better way, do it, because I don't really know what I'm doing. But I've got my beads here, and then I've got this tied, and I left it a little loose. Could you see how I made kind of a loop for it? Okay, and then I'm going to trim it really close, and I'm going to put some glue there to keep it from coming apart. I'll use my Crafter's Pick Ultimate glue, because that's like I don't think you will ever get rid of it. That's why I don't want to leave it on my awl without cleaning it up, because I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to get it off, and it would kill my awl. And this stuff really dries very, very clear, so you know, don't worry about putting a bunch on it to hold your knot to keep it from coming apart. I just want to be careful that I don't glue the knot to any of the beads, because I want the beads to be able to move around. And I'm going to put a little dab on this other knot too, even though I'm fairly confident in that knot. Okay, and maybe I'm going to put a little bit on the center fold knot as well. Just get rid of this. Don't want to lose my little bag that the charms go in. I'm just going to put a little bit in the center fold knot. Right there. And I'm going to leave it open so it can dry, because of course I don't want to glue those pages shut. Okay. And that's it. Now we're not done with the journal. We still have to do all the things to fill all those pockets and stuff that we've made. But we have crossed a significant threshold, and in binding it, it's going to be completely different from now on, because all this stuff isn't loose. You can't take out pages, and it's going to just feel more like a book. So it's really cool. So I would show you what it looks like all together and everything, but I've got all these things that have glue on them. So I'm going to let those dry. I love you all. Thank you for being so patient and for putting up with my mumbling and the camera turning off and maybe taping at a vertical position. I'm not sure if that's what it's doing right now or not. I hope not. Hopefully it's taping the right way. But anyway, I will see you all next time. I love you. Bye-bye.